Hi
Hey
guys,
guys.
welcome back to Girls
Guys.
and Gossip Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Aoife.
And Josh.
Let's get it started. I thought this week's we'd do a little throwback episode. I'm going to start off with embarrassing childhood stories that still haunt us.
Yes, definitely.
So I think my story, and this is probably got to be the most embarrassing story of my life. When I was younger, my cousin, well, she's not my cousin, but you would just say that we're cousins because it's easier. They were at our house, and we were like messing around, playing this, that, and the other. And I really didn't want. She was trying to kiss me like on the cheek or something. I really didn't want her to. We were running around the living room, and she managed it, but I was laughing that much. And when she eventually kissed me, I was laughing that much that I pissed myself on the spot. Like I literally just pissed myself everywhere. And I was probably like 9 or 10, like I was grown, I shouldn't be pissing myself.
Yeah.
I have a really bad, when I laugh too much, I really have to try really hard to hold my bladder. And that time I just really couldn't, just piss myself.
So when Katy Perry said I kissed a girl and I liked it, you said I kissed a girl and I pissed myself. I love that so much. So safe to say you're a heterosexual. So my next one was, so basically I live in a grove, right, in a cul-de-sac. And there was this one absolute cow, and she don't even live here, right? She comes up and cares for this woman at the top of the road. She's an absolute cow, she's horrible. And she used to get really anal about us playing ball games. And when we were younger, it used to be like a load of different kids, and like, we'd play football and Aki 1, 2, 3, all of those things you'd play as a kid, right? And the once I kicked the ball and it smashed her car window. Right? And then, so basically, she used to call the police on us like all the time. Like the amount of times the police would come up because the kids are playing again. And they used to just be like, why have you called us? You're wasting police time. But the one time, because I kicked a football so hard, it broke the back. It was like her boot window, right? But it wasn't that deep. It's easily fixable. With kids being kids. So the once, right, I started crying because I was like, I'm going to be arrested. Like, the police have come. So I started crying. And then I started crying so much that the police officers felt so guilty and so bad because I weren't crying because I thought I was going to be arrested. I cried because I wanted to go in the back of the police car so much. Got into the back of the and started incontrollably summoning these two poor police officers and be like, you're going to take me away from my mummy. Please don't do this, please. Those poor, they defo bitch about me still on their shits now. All because we play fucking ball games. So short, you pissed yourself and I cried to some police.
What's worse? Realistically, though, I've dobbed myself in because the only people that were in that room when mine happened were literally my mom, my friend's mom, and then my friend cousin. So no one needed to know, but I've literally told so many people.
I love it. Oh
God. Right, so the next one, I think we should do school stories that would have got us expelled today. Absolutely. I have a long list.
Oh, you and me both.
I think my first one it was during so it was when I was in like year 10, so the year 11s, it was whilst they were doing their GCSE exams. And we had these like two huts outside, which were part of like the old school layout. And they were freezing, these huts. Like, they were literally just two little huts made of wood, but there were two classrooms. And outside one of the classrooms, we were all like mucking around. And we all because my class was very obviously I was top set because we were all smart, but it was very obvious that they made a whole extra class and they put all of the troublemakers from the top sets all in one class, because my whole class, there wasn't one person that was well behaved. And there was this lad called Nathan, and he wasn't right in the head. He had a bit something wrong with him. And everyone used to just take the piss out of him, but everyone was friends with him because he just let everyone take the piss out of him, really. And we all looked at each other and were like, oh my God, like, we should push Nathan into the fire alarm, like, da 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 da. So we literally got all of us got them into the fire alarm. The fire alarm's got, bear in mind, the year 11s are in a GCSE exam.
No.
And then obviously we've got the fire alarm's gone off, so we've had to all run to go and like line up in where we need to line up. But obviously they know which exact alarm had gone off, so they can work out what classes were there. They pinpointed it down to our class. We all had to stand on the plate in front of the whole school in a line whilst they went through and asked each of us who set the fire alarm off. We've all said no. So they've kept us all in at lunchtime to work out who it was. And then eventually, like, Nathan, we were all like, well, we're not going down for this. Everyone said it was
Oh, poor Nathan.
And then they had him like picking up rubbish on the playground in front of everyone. And obviously none of us made any the wise that we knew what had happened. We said he must have just pressed it for them. They were like, the year 11s must have paid him to press it or something.
Oh, poor Nathan, you arsehole. What would now Nathan's doing today?
I think he's doing well.
Bless him.
I've seen him in spoons a few times.
They're good. He should get his good karma after that. So my first story was one that I actually did end up getting excluded for. So basically, I think it was like year 8 or year 9, right? And our friend Molly, shout out to Mol, right? Actually, no shout out to Mol. I'll get to that in a minute. So we were in English, right? And I was really bored. And one of my attention span's shit as it is, right? So we got a compass, you know, one of those compasses you use in maths. And I just started digging the table. As the lesson goes on, right, we're digging the table. Me and Molly look at the end of the lesson. I was like, there's a fucking hole in the table. We put a hole through the table by digging it. I'm saying, wait, it was just me. Molly was sat next to me the whole time. So then, a couple of days later, we're in a history lesson, and our history teacher was our head of year. And next thing you know, like, Molly's got pulled out of lesson to get spoken to by the head of year. And I was like, I know exactly what it's going to be about. But in my head, I was like, Molly's one of my best mates. She's got my back. Nothing's going to happen. It's fine. This bitch dumped me in. So, Molly's going to kill me for saying this. So then, this bitch dumped me in, right? So then, I come out after, like, Molly's come back in the room, and I knew she'd done me because she didn't look me in the eye. Like, she didn't look me in the eye. She knew what she did, right? She was like, so then I've come out, right? And he's like, oh, we've heard that, like, you've been assaulting school property. How dramatic.
Call my mum. Was slapping it.
I was about to say, Jesus Christ. Like, so then my mum's, I'm not walking, like, to my next lesson at this point. He's like, right, we'll talk about this after school, blah, blah, blah. I've walked past, like, the SLT office, right? And I've looked in, I've seen my mum in there. I was like, now I'm fucking shitting it. Like, I weren't even, the problem was I didn't feel guilty at all at the time. Like, I didn't care. Walked past my mum, I was like, right, I'm in shit streak now. They've pulled me into the office. My mum is like screaming at me. Deep down, she didn't give a shit. It was just because the teachers were there. Offered to pay for it. They weren't that asked because they didn't let us pay for it at all. And got excluded for it. And then they made, similar to poor old Nathan, made me do literally for a week after school. So what I did was, this is bad. I didn't want to do the litter duty. So, you know, in year 8, I wanted to go to Mackey's after school with my friends, as you do. So we used to pick the bin bag out of the bin that was already full of rubbish throughout the day, take it. So we're like, yeah, I've done it. And they'd be like, oh, put it at the back of school. It's just to fling it over the fence by where people's houses were. And then got caught and got put in on. So do you know what I'm learning from that story is I'm the victim.
Yeah.
They're picking on me. Homophobia.
My next one has got to be, I was in a science lesson, and obviously we've established I have a naughty class. No one does what they're supposed to be doing. And we got put into pairs, and we were doing something where we were putting liquid into a beaker, and there was a thermometer in there. Anyway, beside the point. I was partnered up with this lad called Sean, and see, I wouldn't really say we didn't do this on purpose, but they tried to make out that we did it on purpose. we'd both left our station, and I thought he'd put water in the beaker. He thought I'd put water in the beaker. So obviously we've got the Bunsen burner out, and it wasn't even on the orange flame; it was on the blue flame, so it was hot. We've started heating up this beaker with, and they weren't even like cheap thermometers as well. They were the mercury thermometers, like they were the best of the best that they used on our class. Stupid decision there, if you ask me. And all we hear is this like whistling. I looked at Sean and I was like, "What is that?" And then all we saw was the heat of this thermometer was just going up and up and up. And I was like, "You did put water in that, didn't you?" And he went, "No." He's like, "I thought you did." All literally, "Get down!" And the whole thing was just exploded all over the classroom. And bear in mind, mercury is poisonous as well. It was fucking everywhere. It literally blew up everywhere. The beaker, the thermometer, everything blew up. And I was like, brilliant. Because obviously, and then when we tried to explain it to the teacher, they just were, because of the persona of our class and what we had going on, they automatically assumed we did it on purpose. And I was like, no. I was like, he thought I'd put water in it, and then I thought he put, like, do you know what I mean? So no one's to blame.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had to, every lunchtime for like a week, we had to go into the science lab and clear up after everybody and like tidy up all the cupboards and everything. God, all for blowing up a little thermometer.
Honestly, so dramatic.
But we've since learned that these mercury thermometers are very expensive, so that's probably why they
don't use them on the naughties.
That's what I said. I said keep that for the very, very top set.
Exactly. Also, it's Sean's fault because he's a man.
Exactly.
It's never your fault.
You should have done that, not me.
Oh my god. So my next one is, again involves Molly, right? What we're establishing is Molly's to blame. Right? So
she's the problem.
This happened at a school. So basically, in year 10, we went on a school trip to Madrid, right? And basically, there was 2 rooms full of boys and 1 room of girls, right? And they mixed like year 10 and year 11. So we were with the year above us, right? And my, like, I was obviously only friends with the girls that were in my year. So there was Molly, and a girl called Jess that we were friends with at the time. And basically we got really close with like the girls in the older year, right? And their balcony overlooked the main strip. So in Madrid, I don't know where it was. It was right in the centre of Madrid, right? There was like the cathedral, the big square, everything. Like we were right in the centre. We were just all of us were just all congregate in the girls' bedroom. I don't know why. I think because it was the biggest. It had like a separate room attached as well. When I tell you, if there was something left in that room, it was getting flung over the balcony. Like we threw tampons, we threw sun cream, we threw bottles of anything that we could. Bearing in mind, this is on the main street. This is pedestrian. Right. So imagine this is like the Birmingham equivalent of, is it the Hilton that's at the end of Broad Street?
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of that, right? How busy it is. We are lobbing it. The one day we threw tampons down and it landed on a police car as it was driving. So initially we've all like shut the windows, like shut the doors, shut the windows, everything. We don't know if this police car stopped, nothing, right? Then there was this one guy in the group called Amir. He was an absolute, like, he was horrid. So we'd like barricade him against the door. We wouldn't let him in, right, as he deserved it, right? It was horrible. Then this one night, there was this one girl called Danny in the group, and we all went out. So they would just let, like, how old are you in year 10, 14? You're 14, aren't you?
Yeah.
14, 15. They would just let 14, 15-year-olds just roam about Madrid while the teachers would defo go on the piss, right, fair play. They'd let us out, and the one day it was me, Mo, Jess, and a couple of the other girls and a couple of the older boys, and there was this one girl called Danny. We were walking along like the strip at night, right? This one guy comes on a bike, right, and he was like offered Danny sex to just go back to his and have sex with him. She went back, right, and it's a rumor that she got pregnant from it, but we let her go. But genuinely, still to this day, I don't know if the teachers knew that we throw tampons, sun cream, all of the shit that landed on people's heads and policemen's cars. But you know what? That's their fault for leaving us, isn't it? But genuinely, if we got caught, God knows what would have happened.
Well, speaking of throwing things out the window, yet again, we were in another science class.
It's always science.
And we were on so our school had 2 floors, but the way the playground was to the first floor, there was a massive gap between the windows and the playground. We were on the second floor, and we were in an experiment, and we hated our chemistry teacher. She was so bad. Like, she left the school when our GCSE results come back, because not one person in my class, bear in mind we're top set, not one of us passed. I got a U in chemistry, which is ungradable. I didn't even get like an F. I got ungradable, and that's because I'm pretty sure all I did was put my name on it. And so we were in one of her things, and we just none of us ever wanted to do her experiments because they were always so. And she proper took the measures of safety with our class. Like, she did baby experiments with us because she knew we weren't to be trusted. And we were in this second story classroom, and we all got put on like the back bench because that's where all the gas taps were. So obviously we were literally facing the windows and we could see the playground, but we were facing the opposite way to her. And she kept like saying to us, "Oh, and now you need to do this." So what we all kept, one by one, we'd all chuck our textbooks out the window, and then we'd say, "Miss, you've not given us a textbook, so we can't do the experiment." And then she'd go and get us a new textbook, and then we'd chuck something else out. So we'd chuck like the glasses, the goggles outside of the thing. I'm pretty sure a few of them actually chucked the actual Bunsen burners out of the window, just so that we didn't have to. We were chucking everything out of the window. And unfortunately, at the time, the deputy head was like doing like a walk around, and obviously he's he stood there as these things are just dropping next to him. And he's looked up, we've obviously looked at him, and we were like, shit, he's seen us.
It's done for.
Because we thought like we'd just leave the lesson and get away with it, because they wouldn't be able to pinpoint, because there was another lesson in there before break. So people wouldn't see it until break. So we were like, oh, we'll get away with it because they won't know which class has done it. And so he's then come up to the classroom, and obviously there's only like maybe 9 or 10 of us on the back bench. Everyone else is at other desks. So the 10 of us got lined up outside of the classroom
Again.
to ask who it was. But the problem was we all did it. Obviously, I was only chucking textbooks out the window, which wasn't as bad. But then there were some people that were chucking the actual Bunsen burners and the goggles, and I just thought that's a bit too far because that's actual school property.
Yeah.
At least the textbooks can just be flapped back up and brought back up; they're not damaged. And we got an absolute bollocking for this, and it literally then we weren't allowed to do experiments anymore. And whenever it come to needing to see one, we had to go to one of the other classes and watch theirs. We all had to stand well back. All we were allowed to do was watch them do theirs, and that was it.
To be fair, after you nearly poisoning people with mercury,
that was
the
not
guy's
on
fault.
purpose, and that was in biology.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were heating stuff up in biology, but hey ho.
And that I can't say I don't blame them.
They took measures. They needed to be there.
Yeah. Oh my god. So my last one was, as you do, on the theme of throwing stuff around, right? Our class was known. Yeah, again in science. What is it with science?
They just had all the goodies in there.
Yeah. We would be known for throwing absolutely anything. Like anything you could get your hands on, you're throwing them. It's giving toddler, but I'm here for it. And the one day, so what we used to do is like get paper, scrunch it in a ball and glue it, like so it would obviously stick. So the one day this is so bad. So the one day we go into science and we're using the Bunsen burner, but it was after lunch. So we bought chicken that we put in our pocket to burn it on the Bunsen burner. And the thing is, I've got one hand the gluey paper, one hand the chicken, and the assistant head teacher's running. So I tried to lob it at this girl, my friend from across the room. I've just literally gone like that, not looking who's in the room. I've turned as I've hit it. Bear in mind, I'm shit at PE, right? So this must be the one and only time I've ever hit like an arrow so perfectly. The glue stuck to the assistant head teacher's face, but the chicken also. But the chicken also stuck to her face because it stuck to the glue on the paper. So she had a glue, like a gluey paper with burnt chicken on the side of her face. I've walked out, I've had the biggest bollocking. Like, I've never cried when someone shouted at me. I was this close. The way she shouted at me, I've never ever felt anything like that. But like on brand of this. So this one day, right, like I said, we would throw everything. Like genuinely, I don't remember a time where we would do food tech and something wouldn't happen. So the one day we all, because they wouldn't trust us to actually cook stuff in the oven. I wonder why. That's make potato salad, right? So, and our staircase, so our school had 3 floors and it'd be like a twirly staircase, right? This one girl, she was called Freya, she would go to that, she went to the top of the stairs and she's like gone like bomb like threw this shit down and we're like, what the fuck is she talking about? Not listening. I think me and Molly again. It's always Molly.
Don't know who's
There's a common theme going here. I think we were like walking down as it's happened and we've come down to the bottom. And we've looked. And people are like, some people are covered in potato salad. And we looked and we go, what the fuck has happened? She's just got her Tupperware potato salad, dashed it down a 3-story. And the potato salad's just been squirting everywhere, all over the walls. A lot of people's like blazers and uniform. Somebody had it on their face. It was honestly like the shit that we'd do and get away with it is so funny. That is my favourite story. Like I literally remember just me and Molly being all nonchalant, like walking down the stairs, being like, "Oh, what's going on?" We just looked down and see people covered in potatoes. Oh, it's so funny. And she got away with it because they couldn't. No one grasped up and no one pinpointed her. Poor cleaners, man. So bad for her. Oh, it's so funny.
I think my final one, and this is probably the worst thing that's ever happened in the school. Like even now, like obviously my mum works at the school now, and even now the teachers talk about the one incident that happened, and it was my year group went to Iceland. So if you did geography in year 10, you went to Iceland for like 4 or 5 days, and every other day we stayed in like a hostel. Never again. But this one night, I think because we were staying further away to go to the Northern Lights, we stayed in an actual hotel, and we were all just in our rooms, and then we get like a knock on the door, um, and then a note gets pushed under the door, and it just said like someone's room number this time. Don't tell anyone. So we're like, oh, well, we'll check it out.
Of course, I'll have a look.
So we've gone down to, and it was one of the because obviously the girls and boys had their own rooms. It was one of the lads' rooms. So we got knocked on the door. When I tell you, we've gone in there, and most of the kids on the trip are in one bedroom, and everyone was just having an absolute hoot of a time. Someone had got alcohol from somewhere, don't even know where, and we were all being really quiet because the teachers were only in the like bar bit of the reception. Obviously, they were all having a drink,
Yeah.
but they had like one of the staff security like from the hotel. They were like monitoring the halls. So obviously when we like some people went to leave and couldn't because this man was marching up and down because we were like, right, we're stuck in here now. And someone had bought one of those massive, you know, those like GBL speakers, but the big thick ones.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
had bought one of them, and they started playing Party Hard, you know, like Party Hard. And you know when it gets in, it goes Tornado, and it gets to the back, and then it's and then we were like, right, as soon as we can't leave, when it gets to the thing, everyone just starts jumping and like screaming and everything. Obviously, that's happened. It was so loud, and then all we've heard on the door, like we gave it like a few minutes, and we just thought we defo because it was like a 1 floor bungalow hotel, so the teachers have defo heard us. So some people climbed out the window and like hid behind the window so that when people come in, and then the rest of us all barricaded into the bathroom. And I swear to God, I have videos of this. There was probably about 16 of us in this tiny little bathroom. I was stood in the bath, and people were stood on the toilet. They were stood like they were cramped in. We heard this knock on the door, and the lads who were actually in that room, they answered it. And then the teachers come in. She was like, I know there's more people in here. Come out now, otherwise you da 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 da. None of us have come out. And then someone that was in the bathroom just burst out laughing because it was so funny. And then she just opened the door, and she was like, the look on her face, she was gobsmacked. There were so many people, and I swear to God, most of the trip must have been on that. And then we've all got lined up in the corridor, and they've literally threatened to send us all home on a flight home, first flight home, send us all home. They contacted our parents, they told the school. When we got back, we were all put in isolation, all for a bit of partying, and I was just like, what? And then after that, like it was like we disrespected them. But the problem is, we had a lot of like the maths teachers were away with us, and obviously my mum is now a maths teacher at my school, so she's friends with all of these, and they all keep saying. And I said, Mum, the one thing I said, do not tell them I'm your child because they're just going to label you in with me. And they were absolutely livid when we got home. Oh my god, we got the biggest bollocking from the head teacher. But the best part is the head teacher loved our year group, and he said we were one of his favourite year groups because we kept him on his toes. I said, yeah, and he retired after we left.
I think he might have had to. I'd be livid at that guy baited you all out, you know.
I know.
I'd be fuming. Oh, girl. Not me assuming it's a man. Was it a guy or a girl?
What?
The student who baited you out.
It wasn't. It was because. Oh, yeah.
I'd be livid at him. Oh, girl. Okay. Sorry, not me assuming it's a man.
I think it was one of the girls, but it was you know those instances where you can't laugh. We were all in that room.
That's what makes it funny.
Really hard not to laugh. That was the problem.
What happened to the people who escaped the window? They just get away with it.
They got away with it because I was like,
oh, they had a good plan.
But the problem is we left our bedroom window open. We could have went round the building and come back into our room. We just didn't think to. We should have went out the window.
Did you say I've got a video of this?
I do.
Please show me when you can.
Yeah.
I need to see it. Yes. School trips are the best.
I have a video of us all in the room, and then I have a video of us all in the bathroom.
I need to see you.
But it became like the running, like when we got back, the amount of like social like credit we had when we got back. We were so
the
cool
bollocks,
when we got we were the dog's bollocks.
Oh, I love that. Love it. Oh, so now that we've gone through like childhood stories and that, I think that we should talk about us reliving our childhood the other night, as we did. So we both went to Party 101
as you did
with our friends in Wolvo. That weren't a highlight really, but you know, it's fine.
At least we got parking. There was no one in that car park.
Yeah. What a good last minute plan that was, though.
I know. Out of all the last minute plans that we've all made, I think that was probably.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't have high expectations. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But then I've left, and my expectations have been exceeded since I've left. So I thought, you know what, that was actually a really good night.
Do you know what it was? Because I've seen it on TikTok, and I was like, I really want to get to Party 101 because it looked really, really good. Like, and it's going to be cheap. Do you know what I mean? And then I was meant to obviously see Lola Young, but obviously she cancelled. So I was like, oh my God, perfect. We can go to Party 101.
It was meant to be.
It was. We get there, like, honestly, one of the best nights. Like, reliving our childhood, incredible. That set list, Matt Bennett, take your hat off because that was incredible.
We had a mixture of Disney, Victoria.
Yeah.
It was great.
Like,
I was in.
There was, love that. There was so many, like, do you know what? Like, one comment that got me creasing is, so the support actor was a bit weird. What was she called? Disco Daddy? Disco Shreen or something? She had a lot of alter egos.
Molly the other day said to me, what about that actress? What was it? Disco Minge or something? What'd you get that for? Disco Minge? You mean Disco Shrine.
Yeah, Disco Shrine. But then she was called Disco Daddy. It was giving Beto Charlie XCX. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, she had lots of names.
Although, what was that song? It was like Disco Daddy, Drop Me the Addy. I kind of live by that now. But, you know.
That'll be the next concert you go to.
Oi. So, like, I enjoyed it. Do you know what comment Molly made, though? That got me creasy. We were sat there, right? She was on, and it was really, like, it was one of those points where no one knew the songs. It was quite quiet where we sat. Molly just goes, do you know what? I imagine this is what the inside of Circo looks like. I was just freezing. Because I was like, come to your head. But it literally makes so much sense. And then, do you know what? The only downfall of the night was the bar situation. That actually boiled my piss, genuinely. So me and Meg go to the bar, right? And I was like, listen, it feels like that scene in The In-Betweeners where they go to the kids' club. It really feels like that scene. So I was like, I need some kind of alcohol to get me through. You drove, so I was like, perfect, I can have a bev, right? So we get there, and there was a rock concert there the night before, because the guy that I know was at that venue the night before. I've already got beef with that venue. I'm not going to go into it, long story. So I get there, and I was like, oh, like, what cider do you have? Outsider. Great. What vodka do you have at vodka? Great. The only thing that they really had that I liked was Smirnoff Ice. Right.
Wow,
Loving
wild night.
honestly, I live on the edge, right? So I said to her, I was like, oh, can I have two Smirnoff Ices? She goes, the way that she worded it was so judgmental. She was like, are these both for you? And I was like, no, like one of them's for my friend. Because I felt so embarrassed, even because she made me feel that way. And then she went, well, I'm going to see her ID then. And I went, no, the friend that I'm on about is Meg here. Like, because I went to my Meg. She went, well, why have you got a Diet Coke then? Like, you fucking like fucking James Bond. Like, you work for MI5, love. Like, calm down. You don't get paid any extra. So then,
Is it a crime to have 2 drinks?
I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not, Paul Gascoigne out here. It's 2 Smirnoff Ices. I'm not ordering like 8 shots of tequila. So then I've had to call you and be like, can you show your ID and pretend this drink's for you? So she's basically made you get up from your seat.
I was very comfy as well.
Yeah. With you and Molly, I had to show your ID. And then didn't she get arsey because we showed the guy? She was like, no, 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 I need to see
Yeah.
it.
She's like, oh no, I need to see that.
Like,
and even he said, he's like, what difference does it make? And I thought,
yeah, thank
at
you,
least
preach.
someone has some sense here.
Yeah, love him. But her, like, what an absolute cow. But you know what? She didn't ruin the night because the highlight of the evening was touching Matt. Okay, that sounds really weird out of context. Stroking Matt Bennett's arm as he walked past us.
He did. And you know what? I am so, because we had the real debate of whether we wanted to stay up in the balcony seated or go down and stand where everyone else was. And I'm so glad, because out of every row he could have come on, we weren't even on the front row of the top bit, we were the 3rd row back. And he came across the front row on the side bit and then up to the 3rd one. So it literally walked straight past us. And we made it onto his Instagram story.
Exactly. You'll have to put like a clip that we've got on
I'll
here.
pop it up.
Like, because I remember, because it went like me, Molly, you and Meg, didn't it? And like, I turned to Molly and I was like, I think he's coming here. Like, he's coming here. Like, I saw him go around the front because I remember, like, he went off stage, but we didn't read too much into it because he doesn't need to be on stage. He's playing the music off the fucking speaker. He don't need to be there, does he? So when he went off stage, I didn't really read too much into it. And then like when people around us were screaming, I was like, what the hell is going on? I looked to the left of us and I was like, oh, okay, like he's walking along the balcony, he's gonna go like a front row and then back round, but okay, he's gonna be like 2 rows in front of us. He starts walking along that row. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
The best part is though, me and Meg didn't see that he was coming. We just saw him over there, and then we were too busy talking about the fact that he'd come upstairs.
Yeah.
And then the next minute, Molly just smacked my arm. And I turned around, and he was just there, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, jump scare. Like literally, he walked past, and I thought, I'm taking my chance to stroke someone from Victorious. Best show ever. But what a good night though.
It was. It was such a good night.
Like, would you go again? I 1,000,000% would.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because that was so like, I felt like my inner child came out for a period of that, and it was the only acceptable place and time to listen to that type of music. So I was like, unless I'm on my own in the car.
Yeah. I mean, you might get the odd Hannah Montana when you're in Heidi's now and again.
But obviously, we've established when I was younger, we were too broke to have Disney Channel. But I think I did my fair share of knowing.
You did really well. You did do really well.
Even the Hannah Montana songs, I knew a few of them.
Yeah, you did do really well. So I'm very impressed.
And me and Meg knew the Teen Beach Dance. Yeah. You were shocked at that, and you literally just looked over and you
were
like,
I was so shocked.
And we were literally just doing that because we knew it, and it was
what a banger.
It was. I'm so glad we didn't move though. And I'm glad, because every now and then you get up, they'd open the doors and there'd be a waft of like cold air. It was so nice.
Yeah.
I would have, because that girl passed out. Do you remember? She was literally like pale.
Yeah. And the fight.
Like, you know what? Oh yeah, there was a fight as well. I'm so glad we weren't down there.
Yeah, it looked hectic, but honestly, 100% I would go again.
Oh yeah. It was a proper
best night ever. So now it's come to the point in the episode where we do our song of the episode.
Of course.
I think being on topic with talking about like Party 101 and childhood memories and stuff like that, I'm going to go with Take a Hint from Victorious, because that is my go-to duet karaoke song. Absolute perfection.
I think I'm going to follow in your footsteps and I'm going to do Best Friend's Brother, because I love that song.
Yeah.
And we sang it to you.
Exactly. You did. Which makes me feel a little bit scared actually for my brother. But I forgot about that, just not to trigger memory.
If our teachers could hear this, we'd probably still be in detention. Moral of the story, we've somehow made it through school, and that's the real miracle. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.